Hi everybody, Tashi here from Pixie Mommy's Reborns. Welcome back. I have baby Oscar here. He's gonna get a feeding. Say hi, aunties and uncles. I hope the view is all right for you all. I had the tripod up quite high for some photos, and yeah, I tried to bring it down low without, well, anyway. I hope you all have a decent view. This is probably going to be a pretty long one, so grab a cup of coffee, snack, something to eat, whatever. Um, we're going to have a dolly chat, and I'm going to answer some important um, silicone doll questions with regard to rubber and silicone. Sure, many of you have heard about the two not mixing and can cause damage and such. In addition, I know that newbies will ask all the time, what is a vinyl silicone doll? What type of doll is that? And so we're going to get into that as well. But first, we're going to talk about the care of our silicone dolls and with regard to rubber. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, I'm going to ask you all now to go and smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to all. So this is Oscar. For those of you that are new, he is a full-bodied silicone baby. He's the Dwayne Awake #2 by Claire Taylor. He is all silicone, anatomically correct. He does have a drink and wet system. However, I'm just going to be giving him a fake bottle today. So he's in this new romper. It just arrived yesterday from H&M. I love it. I love it. Love it. It's Winnie the Pooh, and it's in a nice like off-white to cream color. It has side snaps that go all the way down the legs, and it has Winnie the Pooh with some kites, like Winnie the Pooh is holding on to a kite, and it has like some little sunshine on it and some stenciled little clouds. It's fairly simple, and it's more of like that, the natural, look with the cream color. I have paired it with these ribbed booties from Quincy May. They're in a, is this sage green? I'm not sure. It's green. And it matches like one of the green squares in each of the kites. So I thought that would be cute. So we also want to give a shout out to Auntie Shara at Reborn Living Dolls, and I will put a link to her channel below. She's got a really wonderful channel. She uploads, lots of content on a regular basis. She has an absolutely beautiful collection, lots of dolls, beautiful clothes and accessories and things to share. And she sent us these new glass bottles. They are by Hiva or Hevia. I'm not sure how Hevia to pronounce the brand. If you all can see that there, I will show you one so you can see it without the formula in it. She sent us two. She sent us the big 8-ounce one and then the 4-ounce one. So this is the bottle. It's going to be backwards because the camera's flipped, but that's what it looks like. So they got a cute little design on it. And of course the measuring on that side. And these are wide-mouthed rubber nipples. So these are similar to the Quodal bottle, that bottle that we all love so much. So, of course, it makes sense that other brands are going to come out now with similar things, that those were very popular. So, nice soft rubber nipple on there. I didn't fill this one up yet. I had to seal the nipples first. But thank you so much, Shara. This was very, very generous and kind of you. And we, of course, will be enjoying these bottles in videos and photos, and as well as I usually keep them on a shelf and kind of get to enjoy looking at them. So, yeah, we have those. And yes, this has a rubber nipple. And yes, I am actually going to feed my silicone baby doll Oscar with this. Now, we're going to chat about the rubber and the silicone. I have this pre-lubricated. It has a good amount of the KY jelly on it. It's a water-based lubricant. So I don't normally use rubber nipples on bottles for my silicones. I have, though, in the past. Okay, so we'll talk as we get him fed. So I have in the past, and I am not entirely worried about it. Oh, what a nice, like, nipple that fits in his mouth nice. And it's soft too, so that it has that nice bounce. Like, look how real that looks as he's chug-a-lugging on that. Chug-a-lugging, Oscar. So, it is true that rubber will break down silicone. The two, materials just cannot be combined. They're not compatible, and rubber breaks down silicone over time. That's the word of it. I mean, that's the scientific answer, that yes, it definitely breaks down silicone. So therefore that answers to newbies' questions. If you're seeing advertisements for silicone vinyl dolls, it's likely a scam, because these scammers don't understand the art, or even that the two can't be mixed. And they know silicones are popular, they know vinyl reborns are popular, and they try to, wheel their way in anywhere they can. But anyways, I have rubber passies that I really love. I will not put those in and leave them in. And I don't bother to put them in because I have so many other passies that even to put in for a photo, I just, I guess I don't know. It also, passies really lay on the face more. And so this is really, the rubber is just not really coming in contact with the silicone because of the lubricant on here. And I will wipe out his mouth when I'm done with a wet washcloth. So it's not something that I would do often, but just for the example of this video and to show the new bottle, I'm doing it. But I wouldn't recommend it. I would say do this at your own risk with your silicone dolls at home. As I said, I'm going to rinse his mouth so there's no residue, but in general, it's really not something that you should do. Okay, so as far as your vinyl reborn dolls and your silicone dolls, I don't think, and this is my opinion, this part is my opinion, the chemical breakdown thing is a fact. It's a scientific fact. My opinion as far as these dolls and what we should do, with our vinyls and silicones, you definitely do not want to store or sit on a shelf or lay in a crib or anywhere for any extended period of time your vinyl dolls up against your silicone dolls. It can cause a problem for you. It can cause a chemical breakdown. It likely will. And that's, again, that's the thing, over time, is the problem. So if you lay a silicone doll next to a vinyl doll to take a photo and they happen to touch, personally, I don't think that that's going to do anything but make yourselves comfortable. We have to be comfortable as collectors, with taking the knowledge that we have and applying our own common sense and then making ourselves comfortable, because some folks just don't want to take any kind of chance. Like, it just makes them feel better to never ever have them touch. And some collectors go as far as they will not share like clothing and blankets between their silicone dolls and their reborn dolls. And personally, I wouldn't go to that extent, but I don't knock anyone who does, because if that's what makes you feel comfortable, that, like, we all, it's not hurting anyone. So it's just, it's common sense mixed with our comfortability level as collectors and as human beings. There's different ends of extremes on anything in life. And then to me there's kind of like a happy medium place, and whatever, but I just go with what I am comfortable with. Oscar is a high-end, very expensive silicone doll. I do role play with him, obviously. I change him and I do, bottle feedings. I've used his drink and wet many times for videos. I fix his hair, I brush his hair. He is loved and enjoyed. You spend a lot of money and you want to enjoy your doll and your money out of your doll. And that's different for every collector. Some collectors don't even like to role play. They don't care about it. They just, want the doll to display on a shelf or in a crib, and change seasonally and just look at and enjoy that way. It's all like just a matter of personal how we enjoy our dolls, and there is no right or wrong way. Is there certain ways to care for silicone dolls? Yes, definitely there is. Is there certain ways to care for them and handle them, to keep them as pristine as possible? Yes, there is. Um, and I think that any collector, or most collectors, that are putting in a lot of money, probably take good care of their dolls. But I've now been here a few years and I've definitely seen my share as well of, silicone dolls that haven't necessarily been taken care of the way that I would take care of a doll, even though I do a lot with my dolls. I'm still, as careful as possible. And you kind of learn things as you go. But, Oscar is very important to me. It's very important to me that he stays, in as best condition as possible, so that I get the most years of enjoyment out of him. I don't ever plan on selling Oscar on at this point, but you never say never in this hobby. I can't ever say that for 100% certain. But I really don't at this point. I just like, I, I'm attached to him, I think, in a way, but you never know, something comes along and, you just things change over the years. And, I mean, I am a collector that buys and sells, and I have sold dolls on to buy other dolls that, I really loved and probably wouldn't have sold if it wasn't for, the fact that I needed to sell to buy. But okay, so I'm going off in the weeds here as far as the rubber versus silicone. So yeah, you hear the different extremes. Personally, I, don't worry if the vinyl, bumps onto the silicone for, a second to take a photo. Clearly, you see that I don't mind once in a while lubricating it good, and cleaning, just giving his mouth a good, rinse out with a wet, cloth gently, um, when we're done here, because just in case, I think, I personally believe that the two have to be like actually in contact for that period of time, for a period of time, for that breakdown to start happening. I don't personally believe that just, quote, residue, just having them touch and then moved away, is going to do anything. But I can't guarantee that to anyone. I could just say I feel comfortable enough to occasionally. I wouldn't go doing this constantly all the time either. So, this was like, okay, a new bottle. I'm making a video on the subject. I want to demonstrate a point, Um, so, that sort of thing. Um, yeah. So I would say it's just not something that I would do regularly. Now, you can, and collectors definitely do. I see many silicone mommies. They take they they coat the nipple with Silpoxy, and so it will seal, the rubber. I see this done with the rubber passies and with rubber bottle nipples, and then, if you've got it sealed good, then you don't have to worry. It does leave like it almost makes it look glossier, and, up close you can see. So for me, it kind of takes away some of the realism, I guess. And so I would rather leave my rubber nipples, as is, um as far as passies, I have so many different ones that, to worry about sealing the rubber ones so that I could put the rubber ones in the silicone's mouth. It's not really a thing for me. It's time consuming. You gotta coat it. You gotta find a place for it to dry. You gotta, I don't know. But absolutely, that is something that you can do if you really, really love the look of the rubber nipples and the, rubber passies. You can absolutely coat it, and then you really probably don't have to worry. Um, I'm trying to think what else to cover on that subject. I would love to hear from any silicone artists and sculptors, like what they know about it, what they're comfortable doing with their dolls if they also collect. I would personally, any silicone sculptor or artist, anyone that's selling silicone dolls, is probably just going to put out, don't do it, don't use it, don't ever let them touch, because to try to explain, like, oh, use your common sense. If it only touches for a second, like, they want to first off cover their butts as a business. They don't want to have liability to say, oh, it's safe to do something. Then if somebody overdoes it or this or whatever, it comes back to bite them. So they're kind of better off just saying two materials can't ever touch, period, the end. And I don't blame them. I would say the same thing. If I was making silicone dolls, I would be telling you all, don't ever let them touch the chemical, rubber and, breaks down silicone. The vinyl has rubber in it. It's going to, break down the silicone. Don't put the two dolls together. So there you have it from this collector's, opinion, as well as, what I know scientifically to be a fact. Like, it is true. It's not an old wives' tale. It is definitely something to be concerned about. You wouldn't want to leave a reborn and a silicone lying next to one another, over time. You wouldn't want to stick a rubber passy in your silicone doll's mouth and just leave it there. You're gonna ruin your doll that way. So it's not untrue. It's just a matter of how much exposure and how long it takes for that chemical breakdown to happen, that I don't know if anybody in this industry really knows yet. If you of anyone who has done an experiment, with silicone and vinyl, leaving them together over time, seeing what happens, because, I mean, heck, maybe, like, if I was pouring silicones and I maybe had just a pour that couldn't be salvaged in any way, not even as a boo-boo baby, well, not only is that great, obviously, to practice painting on and maybe installing armatures and doing things like that, but then when you set it aside, put it together with, put a rubber, pacifier on it or whatever, and leave it there over time and see what happens. Because I'd love to have the definitive answer. So if you know of anyone, or you yourself, you have done that, or have heard about that in this industry, definitely let me know in the comments. I would absolutely love to know. And then I'm sure, everyone else viewing would love to know as well. So comment below and let me know if you own silicone babies and vinyl reborns. How do you feel about them ever touching? If you own silicone babies, how do you feel about rubber ever touching? How do you feel about, sharing clothes between your reborns and your silicones? Yeah, personally, for me, I don't think that anything's going to be transferred from the vinyl to the silicone that would destroy the silicone, because that's the breakdown of it. It's the vinyl, it's the rubber that breaks down the silicone. So the silicone isn't going to damage the vinyl, it's the opposite way around. So taking a item of clothing or a blanket or something off of a reborn and putting it on a silicone doll, personally, I don't think you're transferring anything, but that's just my opinion. Again, and I've been doing it for years, sharing the clothes between my silicones and my reborns. Not only that, but I've seen collectors that have been here since before silicone dolls even existed, since the beginning of silicone dolls, and I've had them, and not, and shared clothing items between their reborns and silicones, and never had an issue. So for me, that's puts my comfortability level, there, to not feel like I've got to worry about the dolls, sharing things. And that's where I'm at. So I have some other little bits to show you all, but I think I'm gonna make another video. I'm gonna film another video after this, because I got something else from H&M, as well as this was a set. So there's a little onesie and hat to show you that's really cute. And then I have some cute items that came from where I got the rubber nipples from, for the bottles that Shara sent me. So I had some cute stuff in that. So yeah, I feel like I have some bits to show you all, and I can pre-record, and then you all will have another video to look at this week. So I'm going to end it here. Please chime in on this topic. It's a good one. It's one that I've covered on my channel in the past. Like, I have talked about this in the past. As many channels have. Like, it's nothing new. It's not, it's not a new topic. It's not new information. It's just, chatting about it again, because every so often it's fun to, because you even forget what other collectors that even do, like what you do with your dolls. You forget conversations that you've had a couple years ago, or other collectors' videos, or things like that. So yeah, every so often these things, especially when it can teach new collectors things, and I get new silicone mommies, and even mommies that aren't new to silicones, but maybe they're getting their first, like, maybe really, really special one or whatever, and then it becomes a concern. And you hear so much information. There's so much information to take in about these dolls, and we especially worry with the care of the silicone dolls, because of the extremely high price tag that these dolls come with. Even the quote lower end, even the lesser expensive end is expensive. So it makes people then more concerned. All right, everybody, if you enjoyed this video, or you liked anything in it, Oscar's little outfit, his blanket, the topic of discussion, anything, please give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, make sure you are subscribed. Also, check out the description bar. It's the little square upside down triangle thing on the bottom of your screen there on the right. Click that. The description will drop down. You can find a link to follow me over on Instagram. You can see pictures of Oscar and all the babies in my collection. There's information on my memberships for behind the scenes. And in addition to every video, I always put the information of the doll that I featured in that video, the artist, and whatever bits that I featured. It's all in there. It's jam-packed in the description. All right, everyone. Till next time. God bless.